now we're having an operator, Victor Augais, who is here in Paris. Hi, Victor.
Hi, Guy. How are you?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Amazing. So you're gonna share with us some of your best practices. I know that when I interviewed you like 2 years back, it really struck me, like all of the things that you're doing for your residents even before they move in. So we're really excited to hear you right now and to share like what you're doing at La Casa.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's start. Well,
Let's start. Thank you.
I'm Victor Augais. Can you hear me properly, Guy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Victor Augais. I'm the founder of the French co-living operator La Casa, and very happy to be here today to talk to you about the key issue in co-living, building real communities. So 5 years ago, I sold my shares in my previous entrepreneur venture, and I decided to travel the world to find my next challenge. And the problem I wanted to solve was getting access to affordable quality housing when you live alone in a big city. I had heard about co-living as the real estate version of the sharing economy, offering to live in quality places made affordable, as you know, by sharing common areas. But really, I had another problem in mind, and I thought it was very hard to meet with new people when you move in alone in a large town. And this is especially true when you work from home, which is more and more the case today, unfortunately. So I figured co-living would also respond to that need for social bonds. So while I was traveling, I toured the existing co-living places, and I realized that there was actually two operating models: hotel co-living and residential co-living, both of them offering affordable quality housing. But I quickly figured that the premise for social bonds was much easier to hold for residential co-living than for hotel-like models. While I was in New York, I spent one night in a big co-living hotel. And to be honest, I felt like I was just in another hotel, except for empty kitchens or bars on each floor. No one asked me any question when I booked my room online. No one introduced me to anyone. And I did not dare to introduce myself to the other guests I randomly crossed in the hallway. So my stay came to an end shortly after that, and I had felt pretty lonely. I then got to San Francisco, and I came across the open door co-living concept. I met with the two entrepreneurs developing the company, and their vision about co-living was based on community and long-lasting relationships. They invited me to a house dinner, and I was impressed by the community mindset of the co-livers. There was 15 people living there. The house was their home, and yet they were very happy to welcome visitors, to meet with new people. In each house, people would agree on shared values. New co-livers were chosen by current ones, and in each house, people would build strong relationships and stay much longer than in co-living hotels. So that's how I started in co-living, and I came back to France. I launched La Casa, a French version of the residential co-living model. Now we are 3 years down the road, and after 15 house openings, it strikes me that we are by structure building strong communities where people make real friends. So how so? I'll walk you through La Casa key principles for building real communities. So the first one is build a small group where people can actually get to know each other and not just by name. The best place to do that is large family house with only one shared kitchen, one living room, one terrace, one barbecue. Each bedroom has its own bathroom, providing intimacy, but there's no kitchenette in it, and people are actually living together. 2, make sure people are community driven. Write down your own principles on the front door and make sure everyone embraces them. This is not an easy one, as anyone can declare they are community minded when they just aim at getting the room. So find a way to make them prove it. At La Casa, all bedrooms are different. Some are bigger than others, but they all come for the same price. And what's worse, you cannot even choose your bedroom, as they may be attributed randomly. What happens next? By agreeing to this rule, people prove that living in a community is more important to them than getting the larger room. Third principle, make sure people have something in common. At La Casa, beyond the community mindset, we design themed houses. There is La Casa Sport and Wellness, the Green Casa, the Cinema Casa, the Cooking Casa. And this will nurture the sense of community, and new residents will feel they already share something before they even move in. Number 4, introduce people to one another and make sure the community feeling kickstarts in the first place. At La Casa, we offer some people to be founders of the next to open house, and we make them meet 1 month before they move in. We are very proactive in the first steps of building the community. We organize drinks, brainstormings, so that future residents can actually get to know each other. Number 5, make people choose each other. Once you have chosen the founders, you just get the ball rolling. The founders choose the rest of the house, and so on. And I realized people are much more involved in a community when they choose each other. So in the first place, the founders, half of the house, choose the other half of the house amongst the candidates we provide them with. And they just have to pick the people they feel at ease living with. And for the motivated candidates who are not selected this time, they can just be founder of the next house. So it's not a problem. And the same goes on for replacing someone leaving a community. We, La Casa, interview candidates. We make sure that they're community driven. We introduce them to residents, but in the end, residents decide who they want to live with. And the last one, the principles, make people do things together, make them own their house and develop common projects. At La Casa, we require every resident to take one responsibility, be it on maintenance or ordering the weekly house dinner we provide. So each one has a role and feels part of the community. Each one is an actor of the community. And when residents come to us with a project they want to build in a house, like yesterday in the Green Casa, about new plants they want to plant in the garden, we are very happy to subsidize the project. And of course, the theme of the house gives us the opportunity to nurture the community life with cooking lessons or sports coaching sessions for the co-leaders. So once those principles are set, your co-living residents are not guests anymore. They live at home in a community and they build strong social bonds. And that's why the average stay in residential co-living is much longer than in hotel co-living. And well, to be honest about this one, I thought at first that our average length of stay at La Casa would be around 2 years. And I was quite disappointed to see it end up a bit over 1 year. But you know why? Just because sometimes it's just friendship and sometimes it's love. And actually 50% of the people leaving La Casa met someone at La Casa, fell in love, and decided to move on and live in a place of their own as a couple. So that's the sort of problems you get when your co-living model builds strong social bonds. And to me, I think it's really a great, great problem to have. So thank you, everyone. I don't know if we have time for questions, but I hope you enjoyed it.
We're back. Okay, thank you so much, Victor. It's been amazing. You learned a lot, like from all of the 15 houses you said, right, that you've been able to open in the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. This is what now is just the rule for us. It was not in the first day. It's really trying things and then making mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm curious if anyone from the audience has any questions, please drop them in the chat right now. And then our team here will be able to read them out loud if we do have some. We do have some. Yeah, there's one from Claire, yes.
I can, cool. So Claire Fleurin, one of the co-founders as well of CoLive, someone I'm sure you know well. She said, thank you for speaking today. Very much admire what you did with La Casa. And she's asking, if housemates pick each other, how do you fight entre soi? i.e. intentional closed-loop communities or exclusivity, let's call them, or little kind of niche groups, let's say in English, and ensure diversity in your community. Is that an important issue for you?
Well, of course, it's a difficulty, yes, and it depends of the role you think you have. I think at La Casa, our role is to create healthy communities where people are living together, caring about each other, and that's what's most important for us. And then, what Claire said is true. When they choose the people they want to live with, they have a tendency to choose the people they have something in common with. It's a fact. But I don't think it's my role to fight that. But if some people don't get selected in communities, for instance, we always offer them to be founders of the next open house, and everyone who's motivated ends up living in a Casa co-living.
So I have a personal question for you. So you really created this entire process of, like 6 months before opening, finding the founding members, onboarding them, etc., until D-Day. What has been something that you changed in your approach since the beginning that you started? Like, what mistakes have you done where you were like, okay, that didn't work, that process didn't work, and now I changed it to something else?
It's hard to pick because we made many. But
I can imagine. Is there one that you'd like to share?
One mistake that we did is I said the founders are half of the house and they choose the other half of the house. For the first house, we decided to have only one founder. And it's a mistake you should not make because this is really the big boss of the house with a huge responsibilities on his or her shoulders. And that's not something you want. For a healthy community, there has to be no boss. So that's why we moved this model to half of the house being founders. So responsibility is diluted and the community feeling kickstarts much easier.
And what happens when these founders move out? Maybe like after 2-3 years, they change. Well, how do you proceed there?
Being a founder doesn't give you anything except for choosing the other half of the house. You don't choose your bedroom before the others. You don't have any more. So once everyone has moved in, the house is complete. There's no founders anymore. So I don't even know if people were founders or not.
Okay. Do we have one more question? There's another question. I'm gonna give the mic back.
So this one is from Neos, and he's asking, how do you give residents responsibilities when they're paying for a service? We have been having problems for that. So something I also noticed as one of the kind of common issues in co-living, I call it the community versus convenience paradox, and it often comes up in these co-living spaces. So what is your experience with that, Victor?
To me, I think it's a question of project. We don't feel they are our customers. We feel we are partners to build communities, and that's the goal of what we do. And once you have found the people who are into that project, they don't feel like customers. So of course they're paying for services that cost money. There's a margin because this company is developing, but in the end of the day, we have the same project, except that we are building more and more houses and they are living there. But I don't think it's a problem at all.
And how is it for you now that you're growing, you're slowly scaling up? Do you see any challenges while scaling up yourself, and how are you able to manage them?
The challenge we have is that when I say that one of the principles is make people choose each other, it can give you some delay in moving in the house because the residents have to meet with people, and this can lead to vacancy. So we have to find a way to maintain this key asset of people choose each other, but still in a fast process where we don't end up having a bedroom empty for a month and a half when we had 10 candidates ready to move in. So of course it's a management issue, and we have to find maybe a smoother process for that.
Amazing. Victor, thank you so much for sharing all of this, really. You're doing phenomenal work here at reinventing the co-living model. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with other co-living entrepreneurs, maybe some that are starting? Any advice, last words that you'd like to give?
Yes, I would like to say thank you to you, Guy, because I think it's amazing what you do for the co-living community. When you came like 2-3 years ago in the starting with your newsletter and just sending random emails, and now that what you've built is amazing. So really, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Hell yes. Thank you, Victor. Thank you.